Howdy gang, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. We are at a little campground close to home again. It is yet another rainy, wet, moist, kind of dank day. I kind of feel like that dude from what is it called? The Outdoor Gear Review, where he literally only camps in the rain. Feels like that's all I can get here these past couple of weeks. But 2 days ago, it was 90 degrees. We hit a high in Texas, a record high. And 2 days later, it is 38 degrees and wet and rainy. So we don't know what the heck we're doing down here in Texas. But here we are. We're gonna make do with what we have. I still think it's better than being 100 degrees. I'll take this any day. I'm gonna put you down. I'm gonna get my other camera, get the tripod, and we got some things to go over. So stay tuned. Well, first thing, before I do anything, it's a lot colder than I thought it was gonna be coming out here. So I'm gonna get my hat. Because after it being 90 degrees 2 days ago, I didn't believe the weather, but it's chilly. So that already feels better. So let's have a little chit chat, gang. Where to begin? So honestly, guys, I'm kind of getting a little bored. I think some of these videos are getting a little stale. So what I'm gonna do to help, keep my interest going in this and continue to do these videos, because I love doing them, but sometimes I feel that they just get, a little monotonous. We are going to spice up this channel, and I don't want to give everything away, and I hate when people do stay tuned for this type stuff, but I don't want to give it away yet because it hasn't happened yet. But hopefully in middle to late March, we're going to be adding a new, keeping the truck, keeping everything, but we're going to be adding something else to the channel that I'm going to use for camping. Can't wait for it, but again, I don't really want to go into detail about it too much just yet, because I don't have it yet. But if all goes to plan, all goes well, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be something that I've been wanting for the last few years, to be honest with you, and I just haven't had the right opportunity to get it. But the opportunity arose itself a couple of weeks ago. I jumped on it, and hopefully I'll be able to kind of explain a little bit better what that's going to be. But in the meantime, I'm going to be testing out a new tent that I'm going to be using for that setup. I'm not going to be getting rid of my Cray fuel. I'm still going to use that tent on top of my truck, but I'm going to be testing out this tent because this is what I'm going to be using also. So we're going to have 2 rooftop tents on the channel, which is going to be awesome. And the other thing I'm going to be doing is I got a new retractable cover. This is still my, I bought this Lear Pace Edwards retractable cover. It's a great cover, except I remove these tents and crossbars almost weekly. I don't drive this to work in this fashion. And the way that these T-tracks are on this particular retractable cover, it's just a little difficult. I can't use the standard M8 bolts or 1/4x20 bolts. You have to use little tiny T-bolts. They're just kind of a pain to get in and out. So I'm actually going to probably be selling this retractable cover. I've got a new one that I just haven't had a chance to put on yet. This is just straight slotted rails. It's still going to work with this rack. But I'm going to be changing that out because I like change. I like to try out different things. This has been a really good retractable cover if I didn't, take this thing off and on so much. That's the only reason that I don't like it. But let's get into this tent, and I'm not going to do a full review on this. If you want, I'll leave a link here, down in the video. I say that and I always forget to do it. But I did on my other channel, my review channel, did a kind of a complete review on this tent. But it's just, I'm kind of going back to my roots. When I started truck camping, I used a little top oak wedge style tent. This is the same thing, but it is from Naturnest. And again, this is going to be our gig for hopefully what's going to be coming up here pretty soon. There's just something about these wedge style tents that I really like. They're not as roomy as my Cray fuel, but they're just, you got the skylight up top, you got these 2 huge front windows, you got the huge front window. On a pleasant day, you can really see a lot more out of these things. But I'm going to crawl in here and get this little top part pushed out. There we go. That is that's set up for this tent, guys. I do dig it. I like the color. It's got 2 layers of fabric, so it's gonna really help on condensation. So I do have a duct on the side, but the cool thing about this tent, and I don't have it hooked up yet because I haven't even messed with it, it's got a little connection point right here to hook up directly to a battery that runs 12-volt stuff inside the tent. So you don't have to kind of run cords up in here to run a, you know, power your phone or whatever. If you get a 12-volt battery, stick it in the bed, hook up that Anderson connection, you're good to go. So again, it's a little bit smaller than the Crayfuel, but it's going to be perfect for my new setup. So I wanted to bring it out here tonight to kind of, you know, put it through its paces, make sure I can sleep in it. I got a smaller Lost Horizon mattress to stick in there. Should be just fine, but I'm going to get the sheet put on that mattress, and then we're going to see what kind of trouble we can get into on this little episode. All right, well, let me show you how home is set up. So right now I got the pillows in the back. I'll probably end up moving them up here to the front, but got my mattress kind of de-lofting, got my pillows, got my movie holder, iPad holder. I got these lights that I installed that did not come with it, but we do have the lights up there, so I got plenty of lights. Got my special bottle, and I got my electric heater, space heater, all the way in the back, because when it was 90 degrees 2 days ago, I thought it'd be a good idea to take apart my diesel heater, do a few mods on it, clean it up, and it was not ready to go, so we're having to use a space heater tonight. But let me show you the last kind of cool thing about this guy, and I have been wanting this for a long time. Finally have a port to put a hose that I don't have to mess with doing it around the zippers. So I'm gonna get that plugged in and get that tent started to warm up a little bit, because it's chillier than I thought, but everything's a little bit wet. Luckily, my wood's super dry. I gotta stop doing that to myself. Luckily, I've got some dry firewood that hopefully will catch a spark so we can get dinner started. So let me get all that kind of situated, gang, and then I'll come back in and say hi. For dinner tonight, guys, I'm making my all-time most favorite camping meal, or heck, even meal at home ever for me. And it literally requires no prep work, hardly at all, here at camp. I did have to do a little bit of stuff at home for it, but I'm pretty pumped about dinner tonight if we can get this fire to cooperate. These potatoes are gonna have to cook obviously the longest, so let's go ahead and get these on here while we let this fire stew. Go. All right, gang, so in this packet, we've got a half rack of baby back ribs. The secret to this, like I said, there's really no prep work, is at home I do bake these things for about 4 hours, as low as you can. I think my oven goes to 175 degrees, and I bake them in beer. I think for this rack I used Blue Moon and Angry Orchard, so orange and apple flavored beer. 4 hours, as low as you can go. Wrapped them up. Then I drizzled extra barbecue, a little bit of honey, and some mango habanero buffalo wild wing sauce, because that's the best. So wrapped them up in 3 layers of aluminum foil. We're gonna lay them right here and just let them, they're basically already cooked. So I'm gonna let them sit 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, really until those potatoes are nice and cooked. Then we're gonna have the easiest, best meal, in my opinion, that you can make camping. Not the healthiest, but it's the best. Everything is so, again, moist and dark and gray, and everything's kind of undercover. Pretty quiet out here right now. There's a few ducks out there in the lake, a couple of ducks out here behind me in the creek, but really not much going on right now. It's a little bit windy out here, so having a bit of a harder time keeping this flame under control, the right heat. And I thought I had more firewood than I did. I've only got 3 extra logs. So I'm trying to really use this firewood that I have as smartly as I can. You know, along with trying to spice up the channel a little bit and get some different things going on, I get a lot of comments and questions on, you know, why don't I ever disperse camp? People that aren't from Texas, obviously, you know, it's kind of hard to get, but we don't have open free range land like you do on the West Coast, Oregon, you know, areas like that. We do not have what you would consider BLM land. We have a few in Texas, but 98% of camping in Texas is either at parks, that we've got a few national forests, but they're 8-9 hour drive from where I live. So unfortunately, we don't get to just go park next to a lake on a field. Someone owns all the land basically here in Texas. So unfortunately, like, you know, we don't get that type of camping here, which is a really big, huge bummer. But that's why you see a lot of my camping here in the state parks, or you know, places like that. It's just because we don't have that type of land. Until I get to uproot the family and move to a homestead with about 50 acres, which is my goal, this is what I have. I love it. I don't complain about it, but I do know that, you know, it's fun to see some of these videos out in the middle of nowhere, but we just don't have that here, guys. I wish we did. All right, folks, I think I can hear some sizzling. I think we're about done with these things. Let's see. Oh. Got a few more fixings for the potatoes. Oh yeah, those look perfect. Let's try them. Not quite ready, gang. I'm gonna put these on for just a little bit longer. Well, I used up all of my firewood, but I think this is gonna heat them up much faster than trying to just slow burn them, especially with this wind kind of standing behind it as a windbreak, because it's just pushing all my heat out. All right, here we go. I just threw them on the fire. Oh yeah, look at that cheesy goodness. That's what I'm talking about. Does that come in? Now we got to figure out, I should have brought some plastic gloves. Yeah, that's hot. Oh, that's hot. Okay. Ow, 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 ow. There we go, gang. That's gonna go right there. I don't know where all this trash is gonna go. Napkins would be good. Probably should have brought more, but oh, this looks, hope you can see that. Gonna add a little bit of sour cream. These potatoes. Look at that. I feel like I gotta eat it so fast though so it doesn't get cold. Cheers. I don't even know where my drink is. I don't know. I'm so hungry, I don't feel like going to find it. All right, those are good. Now on to the star of the show. Oh my gosh. Really should not be eating ribs on camera because they are oh so dirty, but I don't care. Oh yeah. I'm just going at it like a caveman. It's like dessert. It's like meat dessert. Okay, I feel almost obligated to turn this camera off right now so I don't risk having any of you guys get sick watching me eat. I'll check back in after I get all this stuff put in my belly. See you soon. That embarrassingly took a little too long to clean up all of the rib material, but dinner's done. Obviously it was fantastic. It is getting really, really cold out here, and it's even starting to, it's kind of hard to tell, but it's starting to kind of mist and sleet, so I'm gonna have a little nightcap, kind of warm up a little bit before I head up in the tent. Stole some hot chocolate from the kiddos. And I think this thing is the best thing I've bought in the last 5 years for camping, to be honest. I don't know how it keeps things so hot, but it does. Save the rest for coffee in the morning. I actually prefer milk heated up for hot chocolate, but I didn't feel like going through the trouble of doing that. I think this will be just fine. Cheers. Oh, that is so hot. That is still so hot. That feels nice going down. I'm cold. Fire's dying down. I'm getting tired. This is warming me up. All good ingredients for a good night's sleep, I think. Well, we just made it. It's starting to rain, so I'm gonna head up here in the tent, call it a night. All right, this heater doesn't sound like it's going as full bore as it did at home. That kind of has me a little bit worried. Hopefully, that's gonna work for tonight, but let me get a little bit better situated and I'll give you a tour of this new home. All right, I finally got everything situated. And I'll tell you what, guys, I don't know. This is a much smaller, not much smaller, but it is a smaller tent than my Crayfield, which is why I'm not gonna use this 100% of the time. But there's just something about these little wedge style tents that I just like. They're cozy. The double layer on this thing, I don't have to worry about condensation. I got my heater going there. It's finally started to kind of kick up. So it's getting toasty in here now. I've got my iPad hanging up from this little hook here, so I can lean back, put my head against the angle of this. So it's kind of like I have like a backrest, which is really comfortable to watch movies. Mood lighting. I got my hot chocolate up here because this cup is like leak proof, because it's a kid's cup, I think. I don't know. But got this up here while I'm thinking about it. Hot. But yeah, I think I'm going to sleep really good tonight. I just have a really light, packable, like crushable down blanket. But I think with that space heater, that's just a 500 watt space heater, so it's not going to overpower me. But yeah, I'm digging it. So I can hear a little bit of rain. I don't think you guys probably can yet, and I don't know if we're gonna have any major rain tonight. It's just kind of supposed to stay nasty and moist all night long, I think. So gang, I'm gonna sit back and enjoy my movie, and we'll see you early in the morning as usual. Take care. Oh boy. Oh. This is gonna be fun. Oh man, it is. It's 4:20. And it's literally rained like this since midnight. I'm guessing you guys can hear that. I don't know, but I don't know how I'm gonna get all this stuff put up without getting soaking wet. Oh wait, I've got some rain clothes in my truck, so I'm gonna have to somehow get out get my rain clothes, and pack up. Yeah. This is a perfect rain though to sleep in, so that part of it was nice. I think the plan of action, because the rain's not going to be letting up, it's going to be like this until 8 o'clock in this morning, and it is now 5. So I think I'm just going to try to get everything in here packed up in like a pillowcase, so that way I can just take my one pillowcase from up here, throw it in my truck. Once I get in my truck, I can get my rain gear, hopefully, to at least stay somewhat dry putting this tent up, but we're not going to get a let up in this rain, so I'm just going to start throwing stuff in these pillowcases. And see how awful this is going to be. It's kind of a bummer because this is such a perfect rain to just sit and listen to, but somebody's got to make a living. All right, I think we've got somewhat of a break. So I'm going to try to get my shoes on that are in my bag down here. Well, I need 2 hands, so. Isn't this fun? All right. All right. I think there's a hood in this thing. I've got my raincoat, my rain jacket, my rain pants put on now. So I'm semi-waterproof. So I'm gonna head outside and try to figure out how to get coffee made and get this tent put up without getting completely drenched, so I don't have to drive home soaking wet. So we'll see you outside, I guess. Packed up, I think. So let's get some coffee made and head home. I really think I got kind of lucky with this break in the rain right now. Tent is soaked. It didn't leak inside, but I'm definitely gonna have to obviously open it up when I get home and probably let it sit out overnight because it's just so wet. But that's all right. Let's put that back there. All right, well, pack up wasn't, oh, I forgot my cord. All right, gang, well, coffee is made. The rain has stopped for just a brief second, so I'm gonna get the DEVOS light put up and we're gonna head home. So, again, too bad it didn't rain during the day, or we could get some actually decent footage of the pretty rain, but it rained non-stop all night long, so I actually slept pretty good with that going on. So folks, thanks for tuning in. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care. All right, see ya.